she's a man. Why would you even go there?
And then say that her hand slipped.
Yeah.
Girl, you'd have been better off not saying nothing.
Exactly.
You're going to get on the internet on live
Yeah.
and tell people, I think my hand slipped.
Yeah, okay.
My hand done slipped don't mean I'm posting Michelle Obama was a man.
Yeah.
You know, I might have put my link up to OnlyFans or something by accident, but I ain't telling nobody that, you know.
Yeah.
But no, she'd have been better off getting a publicist.
Yo, it's Backstage Pass with Realest Low. Once again, we have a special guest. She's a dope comedian and actor. Over the years, you may have seen her comedy show in person on BET's Comic View or Showtime at the Apollo. You probably have seen her guest starring on TV shows like ER, Breaking Bad, Tyler Perry's For Better or Worse. She's also played in leading roles in films like The Singles Moms Club and Ted 2. Yes, let's give it up for Coca Brown.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't care if somebody was sending you that old bio.
Oh, you got some
I'm
new
sitting up here like, bro, that's 20 years ago. What? Okay, but no, it's all good. It's all good. You don't gotta get with my assistant. Say, girl, let's update my bio.
She got some old stuff on there, huh?
When I first started.
Okay. Well, what's up, lady? How you doing?
I'm good. You know, life is life. Life is life, but
Yeah,
I'm good.
that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you on the show. You know,
Thank you for
glad
having
we
me.
finally connected and everything.
Yeah.
So let's just get into it. Like,
Okay.
basically, I always tell my guests, you know, that I like to, you know, get to the like start off with the beginnings or whatever, like where you from and how you got into your craft, and you know, basically, I know that you're from VA and you educated with degrees, plural.
Yes.
You know,
degrees,
so
yes.
just tell us about your journey, though.
I mean, honestly, if you had told me when I was 20 years old that I'd be Coca Brown and I'd be in this business for almost 30 years and, you know, over 100 credits and stuff like that, I would have looked at you like you had two heads.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I was raised so traditionally Southern. I was supposed to go to college, meet a nice boy, graduate, get married, have some babies, you know, come to my parents' house every Sunday after church. That was supposed to be my life.
Yeah.
And for me to have stand-up really fall in my lap the way it did, it was a friend of mine that invited me to a barbecue. Shout out my boy Onyx.
Okay. Shout out to
And
Onyx.
little did he know, little did I know that I'm there and it's the home of Chris Paul that used to be on the air with Donnie Simpson morning show.
Okay.
And ended up being with Tom Joyner with Huggy Lowdown. And I'm at his home and I'm just being me, you know, I'm just having a good time at the barbecue, meeting people. And his manager, Pop Thomas, came up to me and he said, you ever thought about doing comedy? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And he was like, I got this comedy club, you should come to open mic. And I'm like, all right. Because I wasn't afraid of the stage. I had been doing musical theater since I was 10.
Okay.
And then, you know, I got into doing drama and plays and stuff through middle school, high school, minored in theater in college. You know, but I never thought it would be what I would do for a living. It was just something that I thought would be a hobby and I enjoyed.
Something you were doing at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then ended up going to open mic, called myself trying to tell some jokes. The crowd looking at me like I had 3 heads. And I got frustrated and said, you know what, I don't need y'all. I work for the circus. And the crowd busted out laughing. But what was crazy, I really did work for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus corporate office.
Oh, okay.
And I just panicked and I said, oh, y'all think I'm jumping out of cars and stuff and handling monkeys? No, you know, blah, blah. And the crowd just cracking up. And then I had my little 5 minutes was over. And when I came off stage, I ended up meeting my mentor. That was my mentor to the day he died. God rest his soul, Darcel, the Fat Dr. Blejman. Fat Doctor was considered like the godfather of comedy in the DMV area.
Okay.
And he had mentored so many people from Martin Lawrence to, you know, Donnell Rollins, Ashley Larry, you know, just so many people. So he was highly respected and regarded. And he told me that night, he said, you just learned something that it takes most comics 10 years to learn. And I said, what's that? He goes, what's real is what's funny. Because I like to work with you.
Right.
And the rest been history.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's basically when you realized that
I had a gift that, I mean, Onyx was like, you know, you've always been funny. And my friends that grew up with me, like, you've always been funny. You've always kept us laughing. But I never, ever thought it would be what I would do for a living.
Exactly.
My way of life. Yeah.
Right. So after that, you know, he told you that. When was your next the next time that you actually did stand up, you know?
I mean, I got bit by the bug.
Okay.
And after only being in comedy for a year and a half, I ended up winning DC Comedian of the Year.
Okay.
And that was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went against a lot of people in the area and I ended up winning.
Yeah.
And so that just propelled me into getting a lot more gigs.
Okay.
And then, you know, I was going on the road, opening for other comics like JB Smoove and Mike Epps, and they were taking me on the road with them. And, you know, that just started me learning the business in terms of the road and,
Yeah.
you know, having sets for different things. I started getting gigs for churches. I started getting gigs for corporate. So that made me realize that as a Black comedian, you have to have so many different sets.
Yeah.
You can't just have one set.
Right.
We're not allowed to.
Yeah.
We have to have sets that work with every crowd.
Exactly.
From the midnight crowd in the hood to, you know, performing at the White House. You have to have a different set for everything.
Right. Corporate, whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say were some of your biggest struggles, though, you know, when you first started off?
Biggest struggles,
that you faced, you know?
When I first started out, I was so excited. Like, if there were struggles, I didn't know.
You did, okay.
It didn't start for me with the struggles and the hate and the people having feeling some type of way because you were, you know, doing well until after I did Comic View.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I began to see people kind of go, you know, little things started happening.
Funny.
Yeah. You know, and it's just the funny style of, you know, you came up with us and now you transcended. You know, when I left DC and went to LA and I, you know, booked my first, you know, commercial, then I booked my first movie, you know, you see people change. And I was like, you could do the same. It was just my time. It was just my turn.
Yeah.
You know, and the one thing you learn about this business, honey, it's not always your turn.
Yeah.
But you have to stay committed to it to some degree. Because when your turn comes back around, you got to be ready.
Yeah.
I always say, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
And you was ready.
I was ready. I stayed ready.
Yeah. What would you say were some of the comedians that actually inspired you at around that time, you know?
When I first came in the game, you know, of course, the Fat Doctor, Tony Woods, Teddy Carpenter, Wanda Sykes, Monique, Adele Givens, some more. You know, a lot of them were like, wow, they're doing what I could possibly do.
Yeah.
So, and I always pay homage to the OGs.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not one of those ones that doesn't realize that I'm walking because they ran.
You're right.
Or they ran, I walk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, honey, y'all just fed me. I'm a little sleepy.
Yeah. So do you recall, I mean, you mentioned your first stand-up performance, though. How did you feel about it? Was it what you wanted it to be? Like, was it?
First time I ever hit the stage?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, because I had done theater, I wasn't scared of going on stage, but then it kind of hit me like I'm up here by myself. You know, usually when I'm doing theater, it's an ensemble cast, you know. It was exciting. It was like somebody gave me an adrenaline shot.
Yeah.
And I went 10 toes down in it, man.
Yeah.
Because they say balls deep. That's what I did. Hard.
And your comedy, you know, is very real and relatable. You know, I mean, to me, that's what makes it people more attracted to, you know, because they can see the realness or whatever.
Yeah.
Where do you draw most of your material from, though?
Oh, God, life.
Just life.
I'm a constant observer. Constant observer. I know that my brain can be a little twisted because how you see something may not be how I see it.
Right.
And if you ask people that grew up with me, especially like in college, in my early 20s, you know, I would just say stuff, not with the anticipation of hoping you laugh.
Yeah.
It was just my observation.
Okay.
And then I realized that my observations got laughs. And that's how, you know, I was able to incorporate it and bring it on stage.
I got you. Yeah. Do you know, like, I'm sure you know her, but Jennifer Lewis?
Of course.
She
the
is
queen.
so crazy. Yeah. You know, and everything that she does to me is like, seems so real. You know what I mean?
And that's her.
It's really her.
That's her.
And it comes off. You know what I mean? And so I feel the same way about you. When I watch your,
thank you.
You seem to be that same way. It seems like everything just comes natural or whatever. You know what I mean?
I mean, I always say, I mean what I say and I say what I mean. Real simple.
Yeah.
Real simple.
Has anybody ever told you that, though? Anybody else has ever said that everything comes...
most definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I got the moniker The Truth.
Yeah.
Because of people saying that when I was on stage, I was speaking real truth. So they called me The Truth.
I got you.
Yep.
Do you ever like test any of your jokes with like family or friends?
Absolutely.
Before you, do they even know it that you tested them?
My best friend does now.
Oh, she does.
But for the longest, she had no idea
idea.
I was running, and she's in the car. If she's falling out the car, cracking up, I knew I had a winner. If she's like, then I said, "Ooh, that's not something I can pursue."
Mess with it.
Yep, she was definitely my vetting. You know, I went to her and ran stuff by her all the time when I was first coming up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you had mentioned that like even when you were younger, you just knew that people laughed at certain things that you would say.
Yeah,
anyway.
I got popped in the mouth a lot because I said stuff I shouldn't have said.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you balance like being funny while still telling real life stories though?
Well, I'm not up there trying to act. You know, it's something that, you know, I've learned from acting for the last 30 some years. But I'm not trying to be funny. That's not my goal.
Mm-hmm.
I go up there and I give them me.
Okay.
And when I used to try to go up there and be funny, it would be inauthentic.
Okay.
It didn't feel right.
Yeah.
So now when I go up there and I just be me,
mm-hmm.
and I say what's on my mind, what's in my heart, and because over the years I have mastered to a degree timing and delivery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I make the joke, you know, a good comedian can make you laugh reciting the ABCs.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about timing and delivery.
Okay.
So that's the thing that, you know, I'm proud of myself for, that, you know, I don't go on stage trying to act anything.
Yeah.
Wherever I'm feeling. Last night I did an hour set on what was on my heart.
That was it.
I told one piece of material and that was the end, and I said goodnight.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. Yeah. But have you had like any of the like older heads or whatever try to pull your coattail and try to give you some advice as to what's the best, you know, after watching your show or whatever?
Well, they did in the beginning, but now that I've become an old head, when the babies are running to be OG, I'm like, who are you talking to? But in the beginning, I was very blessed for a lot of great comedians that took me under their wing, if not, you know, long-term, briefly, to give me great advice, show me the road, teach me the game, teach me the business. You know, Fat Doctor did a lot of that for me, but I was blessed to also have cast like, you know, Talent, you know, and JB Smooth, Cool Bubba Ice, and, you know, Mike Epps and Capone. I can just go down the list, you know, and then, you know, DC Joe Recca, and, you know, Andy Evans, and, you know, just so many people, you know, that poured into me as a young comic that helped me develop my voice.
But I mean, and you definitely named a lot of people, but even in the beginning though, you know, like black female comics, you know what I'm saying? At that time, it was still being ran by dudes or whatever.
It still is.
Say what?
Still is. Still is. It's a boys club.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these tours that come through. I think We the Ones.
Yeah.
You got 15 comics on there. You might have one female. And half the time, it's not really a comedian. It's a social media personality.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, it's still a boys club.
Right.
It's still a boys club.
Yeah, I got you. That's true, though, because they just came through, a week ago? And I don't even think there was one female.
Nope.
One female.
Nope, not at all.
So,
not at all.
I was watching one of your stand-up shows on YouTube, and I think it was YouTube. But anyway, you were talking about, like, being hit more by women than men or whatever. And that shit was hilarious. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I think you said something like female studs. Somebody ran up to you. It was a female stud that ran up to you.
Yeah.
And she looked like
Rick Ross.
I thought you said Gucci Mane or something.
No, Rick Ross, honey. I mean, how you get a full beard and no Adam's apple? I'm trying to figure this out. You know, it's Atlanta though, baby.
Yeah.
I had to get used to that. I remember I had a stud tell my ex-husband, we were still married, I'm going to take your B.
Damn.
To my husband's face, and he said, "Little girl, I will punch you. You dress like a man, I'm gonna treat you like a man."
Yeah.
But she was like, "I'll take you, B."
Wow.
I'm like, "Whoa," you know. But yeah.
Just stepping up to you just like that.
I mean, you know, I don't know if I don't think I give off the energy, but then again, you know, I'm approachable, which is a good thing because you know that's great to feel. People, it's good when you have your fans feel like they can relate to you, they can connect to you, they feel like you're the homie.
Yeah.
Because that develops a sense of loyalty.
Right.
With you. But it blew me when I first moved to Atlanta and the amount of women, you know, and women that look like you. Okay. You know, I always said if I ended up with a woman, honey, I had the baddest in the room.
Yeah.
I'd had dudes giving me props if I'm going to do that. I said, why be with one, you know, but everybody got their preference. But that's usually what hollers at me, you know, the one that was born Melba, but now she's Melvin.
Melbourne, then Melbourne.
Yeah.
And you said that happens more when you're in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what would you say, what was the toughest crowd you've ever had? The toughest crowd? And if you recall, what city was it in?
Atlanta, Georgia, 559. That was the club that scared. It was a rite of passage for every comic.
Mm-hmm.
It was on this thing we called the Creative Run. And the Comedy Zone had a bunch of one-nighters that you would start in like Virginia and work your way down south, or you started like mid-Florida and work your way up north. And Atlanta was one of those rooms. That 559 was hosted by Bruce. Honey, they weren't trying to hear nothing you had to say.
Wow.
And they would start chanting something that I cannot say on the air unless you don't want to get aired. So, you know.
That was rough.
And I remember I went on stage and said the most outlandish crap and said goodnight and got all my money.
I hear you.
I went on stage and said, "Hey, I sucked," and walked off. And they was like, "Yay!" And I was like, "Trust me, you had to say something to grab them, shock them, but then you got off. Like, if you could do 10 minutes in that room, you were a beast."
Man, it was
because
like
they booed everybody.
Yeah,
and it was rough.
So they went in there just deliberately, just prepared to just diss you or whatever.
Then I had something happen to Texas Southern because I didn't know that was Erykah Badu's alma mater. And I went on stage with an Erykah Badu joke. First joke out the gate as soon as I walked on stage. And they booed me so bad I had to hold on to the curtain because my feet levitated.
Damn.
And they would just not let me recover.
Wow.
And I'm like, but it ain't a bad joke. It's a good joke. They ain't care.
They wasn't feeling it because that was that girl. Erykah was that girl.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So, you know, you transitioned into acting and successfully or whatever. What made you decide to, get into acting though? I mean, I know you said it in school.
Yeah, I did drama and everything, but I mean, it was made to seem like that was the natural progression for a stand-up comedian. You know, you get out here, you get a name for yourself, you do the proper platforms, and then you go to LA and try to get on a TV show. Yeah. That's kind of how it was taught to me. So that's how I did it. I think I'm the last generation that got taught like that. Yeah. But, that's what I did.
But you was already, just like you said, you didn't know that 20 years ago that you would be where you are.
Not at all.
But you never really, like, watching television as a kid, you never thought that you would be an actor?
We used to I mean, it's like a fantasy when you're like, this kid that's just kind of raised to just, live a very normal life. Nothing spectacular as per se, like being a celebrity, So no, I didn't think anything of it as per se, but in retrospect, I thought I could do it. Yeah. But I never thought I would be given the chance.
Gotcha. Yeah. Which one do you think is comes more natural for you though, acting or
stand up?
Stand up
Absolutely.
Comes more natural.
Acting, I'm being somebody else.
You're being somebody, right?
Stand up, it is just me up there with a microphone, completely naked. Yep.
Yep. So, I guess how would you say that you prepare for serious acting roles versus comedic acting roles?
Well, dramatic, people, just automatically assume I'm just a comedic actress because I've done a lot of comedic acting work. But, I've also done Shakespeare. I've done August Wilson. Wow. Okay. I've done Nizaki Shange. Like, I'm not, a one, trick pony. Yeah. And so when I've been given the opportunity to show people that I can do drama or I can do a kid's show, that versatility, that's always a plus. How do I prepare? I mean, if I'm playing a role that I cannot possibly relate to, I find people that I can. Okay. And I'm like a little news reporter. I'm interviewing them. I'm around them. I'm hanging out, watching their mannerisms, their cadence, something. Yeah. So I just research if I don't know anything about it. I research it.
I got you. So, what would you say? Which role has challenged you the most, though, as an actress? Which role?
Well, I did do a movie named Sebastian that I had to have about a pound of fake blood, and I had to have prosthetic where my throat was slit, and all that. That was crazy. Okay. That makeup process alone was nuts. For them to make it look like I had my head bashed in and I had my throat slit, and it was nuts.
So taking out the time to prepare, getting the makeup done and everything.
And then getting in that headspace to be fearful, knowing I'm about to die in the script, and a violent death at that. Yeah. So I had to tap into some pretty dark places to get there. Okay. But it was crazy. It was crazy.
And I mean, you've definitely been in a lot of movies and worked with a lot of folks. Who has been the coolest director you've actually worked with?
John Singleton, hands down.
John Singleton?
And then Tyler would be next.
Tyler was the
And
second.
then Anthony Hemingway.
So what was with, what movie was you in?
What I did with John Singleton, I was in American Crime Story, People vs. OJ.
Oh,
And
yeah.
John
I
was one of the
remember that.
directors
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, John was one of the directors for
Okay.
that. And working with John was amazing.
And how was that? Just working with him was amazing, but doing that, because that was like more
That set
of a,
was a masterclass.
it was, okay.
That set was a masterclass. You had Sterling K. Brown, you had Sarah Paulson, you had Kenneth Choi, you had Courtney B. Vance. I mean, baby, that was a masterclass. John Travolta, honey,
Yeah.
if you didn't learn from sitting on that set
Yeah.
for 10 months, you just retarded.
Oh, you was on it. That's how long it lasted? 10 months? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's like almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
Okay.
To finish that. Mm-hmm.
Now, I've seen you on like Country Wayne skits on Facebook and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
How did you connect with him, and how did, to get down with...
Comedian Jordan Jackson reached out to me and said, hey, sis, would you be interested in doing some Country Wayne skits? And I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, at the time, I never watched him.
Okay.
So I said, well, what is it? You
Yeah.
know, and he told me to go look at him. I said, oh, okay, what am I doing? He said, you're going to be playing one of the characters, cousins. I'm like, okay. And that's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
And Wayne called me. We negotiated what I wanted, fee-wise, and
It just worked out.
it worked out.
But like with him doing those, was that something you were doing on a weekly basis or daily? It was like nothing like that.
It was so random.
Oh, okay.
When they would call me to work, it was random.
Okay.
It was never like they would just say, "You available next Tuesday?"
Yeah.
Right. I never like had a schedule.
Gotcha.
Like far out. I think the furthest out I got a schedule was a week.
But that's where you at. You based in Atlanta right now, so it was easy for you to just make that
Oh
happen.
yeah,
so, yeah.
I mean, it was something to do. It was fun. I learned a lot, and now I'm shooting my own.
Doing your own.
Called Life After 50.
And look at you. See, you jumped the gun. I was just about to ask you that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Go and ask me. I ain't say nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna act like you said.
Okay,
I heard you was actually.
I ain't say nothing. I'm over here like, this is nice. Okay.
All right, so I heard you was actually starring your own skit series called Life After 50. Tell me more about that.
So Life After 50 is crazy how it happened. I teach an acting class called, I have a Cocos Brown Actor Studio in Fayetteville, Georgia, and I teach classes there. And it was after one of my classes, and I was sitting there with one of the older gentlemen that's in my class. We were just talking. And then it dawned on me that a lot of my colleagues are doing these like skits where they act out their jokes. So I was like, Mr. Gary, would you do a skit with me right quick? So we did this skit where he acted out one of my jokes where I talk about going out with an older man. And he's talking about all his ailments, and you realizing that this man don't want you as his woman, he wants you as his nurse.
Damn.
And so we shot that, and then I did another skit right quick with my niece, where I talk about how these old men be pursuing these young girls, and all she wants is the money.
Yeah.
And he think he
Sugar
got
daddy
something.
situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I posted them, and when I tell you they got so much love that people assumed I was getting ready to start shooting skits.
Oh, where? Okay.
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I got my little gimbal I've never used. Let me see. I mean, I've seen Country Wayne do it. Let me try. Maybe to see what I can do. And it has taken on a life of its own. I went from just me and my, Mr. Gary, my niece and Mr. Gary and me, to now I have a cast of 12.
Wow.
And we have storylines going.
Gotcha.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning. I tell people, I said, understand you're going on a journey with me. First time I've ever done this. There may be times somebody's head might be cut off. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just roll with it. Because I'm learning and you guys get to watch my process.
And how long have you been doing that though?
God, a month, maybe a month.
Oh, you're just now getting started.
Just a month. Yeah, just a month.
Yeah.
And I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And you see how that is though? And you're posting that's on social media. And think back, 15 years ago, would you ever think that would be something that you would be able to get off?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
It's weird. When I first came in the game some 20-some years ago, I came in under the guise that your goal is to become a great road comic, move to LA or New York, get on a show, a sitcom, and then eventually get your own.
Yeah.
That was like what everybody encouraged
Right.
you. Like that was the game plan, whether it worked or not. That was the game plan. Now it's like sit at home, make content, post until one of them things go viral.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood will come knocking and give you a show. That's how it works now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. That's what
It's crazy.
And it's been
crazy.
working for a lot of people too.
Yeah, man,
You
look.
know?
I used to live next door to DC Young Fly. Trust me, I've seen it happen. Okay, like up close and personal.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I'm proud of them. I mean, the dedication it takes, just me doing this series, Life After 50, and I'm only posting 3 days a week. I don't know how they be doing it. They posted 4, 5, 6 videos. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm still learning that algorithm.
Yeah. They just got that grind, I guess, you know. So you're a mother of a young son and
a teenager.
Oh, he's a teenager now. Okay.
He's 13, child.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So how has motherhood influenced your, comedy and career decisions, though?
Well, I mean, comedy-wise, not so much in the sense that I do talk about my son from time to time, but I don't know, it's kind of sacred. So I don't put a lot of him out there.
Okay.
Maybe I should. Maybe I'll get more material now that he's a teenager.
Yeah.
Because when he was little, it was just cute stuff. It's cute. He's so cute,
Yeah.
I balance it. There are just certain holidays I never work on because I'm spending with my kid. If I'm home for the week, I'm spending with my kid. I'm cooking dinner. I'm going to tennis, matches and football practices. I'm present as a mother, especially when I'm home.
Yeah.
I always say I won't date till he goes to college. I ain't got time.
Really?
I ain't got time for nobody.
You ain't got time for nobody right now?
I'll date when he goes to college. I'll find a nice little bingo hall and see what happens.
I hear that. So, as we get older, like you said, life after 50, life definitely be lifing, and a lot of things, happen or whatever. We lose, family members and all sorts of different things. And I, heard like a couple years ago, like you had a house fire or whatever.
Yeah, I lost my home to a fire. Whole house.
Just everything gone.
95% of my house was gone.
Man. So with all of this, that happens, what motivates you to keep pushing and doing your thing, though?
My son.
Your son?
My son is my motivation.
Yeah.
He is, because, I always say, PCB, Phoenix and Coca Brown, we all we got. That's why we pound each other out every morning.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all we got. And so it motivates me to be better, learn more, be present. No bag is worth me missing something significant of his.
Right.
I told him he'll always come first.
Yeah.
So he's my motivation more than anything.
I got you.
Yeah, because I'm not in that pick me mode anymore. I feel like I've been picked to a degree, So yeah.
I got you.
It's all about him.
So, in rap, music, people be beefing. And it seemed like over the last couple of years, like the comedians have started beefing with each other.
Cat Williams opened up a can of worms.
You think it was Cat who started it all?
Oh, Cat started. Cat opened up a can of worms, honey. Yes, he did.
Okay, so you feel that Cat was the one. And so do you think that it's real beef now, or that people looking at it as though here's an opportunity to,
All of the above. I feel all of the above. Some people really live by the mantra that all press is good press. That do whatever it takes, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that mentality. So a lot of times when you see these beefs, whether comedian or otherwise, it's really a PR stunt.
Yeah.
It's to get more likes, more follows, more engagement.
Yeah.
That's all.
And that's what I'm saying, though. The thing is, back in the day, like, with the, you could say go far back as Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy. These guys did their own thing, you know what I mean? And they made it work. They became successful stars, comedic stars on their own. Right now, it's a different time, definitely a different time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are becoming stars from just social media. And they are comedians, but they're becoming more successful because they happen to be beefing with a more popular, So it's
controversy sells.
Yeah. It's definitely different.
And so when it's, some beef between two major comedians or, mid-grade comedians, people eat it up and people love it.
Yeah.
There are people that are willing to go viral by any means necessary.
Any means necessary, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody ever try to get you to do something to, gain more attention?
Yeah.
For real?
And I said, I'm good. I'm famous enough.
Yeah,
that's why I named my
enough.
last special, Famous Enough.
So your last special? And what about, and that's what Cat Williams be talking about. He talked about his Netflix specials and everything, how many he has and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. Is that something that, you feel that other comedians are gauging their success level based on
that and followers.
That and followers, basically right now.
Funny is secondary. We've noticed that with a lot of people. They've pushed through the gates and forced down our throats. That funny is it's a free fall right now.
Yeah.
It's not an exclusive club anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sucks.
All right, so I'm gonna hit you with like a few rapid fire questions real quick.
Okay. Close my eyes. Okay.
Okay. What comedian makes you laugh the most?
Tony Roberts.
Tony Robbins?
Tony Roberts.
Roberts. Okay, Tony Roberts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Favorite city to perform in?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Hands down.
Really? Baltimore?
Baltimore, hands down.
Okay.
They show love.
They show love, huh? Out of all the cities
you walked up that stage feeling like you wanted to disciple.
Okay.
Seriously.
That's cool. That's what's up. All right. So one thing fans don't know about Coca Brown.
That I have a master's in education.
Okay. Yeah.
I
know that. I knew that.
A lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
Or that I am a descendant of Nat Turner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my daddy's side.
On your daddy's side. Because you're from the Chesapeake area, right?
Well, I'm from the Virginia area, 757. My daddy's from Southampton County.
Southampton,
Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, which is where the slave revolt
exactly.
happened, the Lovings.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of significant things went down in that area.
I tell you, yeah.
And you know, Dismal Swamp behind my grandmother's house was an intricate part of the Underground Railroad. And that scene in that last slave movie that Will Smith did when he was in the swamp, that was based on Dismal Swamp.
Really?
It runs on my family's property.
On your family's property in Virginia. Wow. Yep. See?
Yeah.
Rapid fires. That's what rapid fires is. We get that information. That's cool. That's, you know. All right. Okay. So if you weren't a comedian, what would you be doing?
I'd be a child psychologist.
Child psychologist.
I feel like if you fix them young, you won't have so many jacked up adults.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd be a child psychologist.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Most embarrassing moment on stage.
My wig fell off. Okay. I split my pants.
Okay. You was acting up on stage. Make that wig come off.
I went one way, my wig went the other child, and then it was something I used to squat and do something. My pants said, and I just did the whole show with my legs crossed like this. Like, okay, let's finish this up. Yeah.
I feel you. Okay. Dream collaboration, comedy or acting?
God, Viola Davis.
Viola Davis.
That is my bucket list. Viola, Denzel, Jeffrey Howard. Jennifer Lewis, Loretta Devine.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah. So you've obviously experienced a lot of ups and downs or whatever. Yeah. Going through things or whatever. What advice would you give your younger self if you had the opportunity?
When this social media thing happens, jump on it with both feet and both hands.
When it first happened?
Yeah.
You would have.
I would have jumped on it.
You would have jumped on it.
I would have jumped on it.
Yeah.
And rode it till the wheels fell off.
What were you doing though? Like
pursuing my acting pretty hard, and I wasn't paying attention.
Wasn't paying attention.
Like I was barely on MySpace.
Yeah.
When it was up, you know. Yeah. So it's like when all these YouTubes and Instagrams and TikToks and Facebooks and Snapchats came out, I was like, oh, this is too much. I don't need anybody in my business this much.
Yeah.
And it's hard because in the business has a necessary evil that you have to have your business on Front Street. It's very difficult to keep it hidden.
Yeah.
You know.
So do you think? So did you get more open to social media during COVID?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
That was when you really focused on it more?
Absolutely. When I had to embrace it.
Yeah, that was.
When I had to embrace it, it was bad. I was on social media a lot.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people, I think, that was something that made everybody, you know, say, yeah, we got to get on this.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So what's next for Coca Brown? Any upcoming projects, movies, or
when is this airing?
What was that?
When is this airing?
Next week.
Oh, good. Okay, great. So April 10th, you guys can check me out in the new movie You, Me, and Tuscany with Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean Page. That comes out April 10th in theaters.
Okay.
And right now you can check me out in a movie called Georgia Peach.
Georgia Peach.
Which is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And I'm shooting a couple of movies this summer. Stay tuned.
So you're going to be real busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and earlier you mentioned about you teach a class too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Coca Brown's Actor Studio, Seabass.
Okay.
Yeah, it's every Tuesday from 7 to 9 in Fayetteville, Georgia.
Fayetteville, Georgia. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right, so that's what's up, lady. I mean, I really appreciate you coming through. Seriously. Yeah, I'm glad you came through.
Thank you for having me. I hope my answers are okay because I was fighting the itis with everything in me.
Oh, no.
I can't feed nobody for no interview. I'm sitting over here like, bro, okay. And the food was good. You didn't even give me no, you didn't get no trinkets. They gave real food.
Next time we don't wait. See, we don't want you to be falling asleep when we're doing the podcast.
But I was sitting up here. I think you probably like, what's wrong with her eyes? Because I want to close them.
Yeah, I feel you. So it's definitely been real, and we're gonna come out tonight and check you out.
Yeah,
seriously.
let everybody know, man.
Yeah.
Oh, let everybody know. Come see me, man. If I'm in your city, come see me. My claim to fame is you will never see the same set twice.
Got you.
I create on the spot.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Okay.
All right, well, I appreciate everything.
Thank you. And my bracelet fell off. It's okay. It's okay. Good time. Thank you, baby. I'm just gonna leave this here and give it to your wife and lie, say you bought it for her. We ain't doing all them games.
I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my